Hey everybody, welcome back to homerecordingmadeeasy.com and here on my YouTube channel. And this week we're going to take a look and I'm going to do a comparison of some 10 Neve 1073 plugin emulations and compare them to each other. So a couple of weeks ago, I did a review on the new Artura pre-1973. And a lot of people really liked that video. And I claimed in that video that that was a UAD, Universal Audio, possible alternative if you don't have a universal audio rig, and there's many companies that make 1073 plugins, that this was a really great alternative to that. Since that time, some of you in the comments asked me to compare this to maybe the UAD or some other 1073, so I thought that would be a good idea. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to compare the Artura 1073 Pre with the Universal Audio 1073 with the Slate Digital FG73. Now these are all 1073 preamp emulations. We're just going to listen to the preamp section and not the EQ section because the Slate doesn't have the EQ section and the EQ is slightly different on these three plugins. So this is just the preamp itself. So what I did here is I took a mix here, and it's not even a mix. It's a raw tracks, small session, not mixed at all, just balanced a little. And we put the 1073 as the first insert in our chain across, 13 tracks, because this is more of a cumulative effect. A single track really doesn't do it justice. You have to listen to it across an entire set of tracks, I think anyway. So we have down here in brown, we have a small drum set, kick, snare, toms, overheads, and percussions. We have a bass in blue, piano in purple, electric guitar, 2 acoustic guitars over here in purple, a lead vocal, and 2 background vocals. So full band. So the first plugin in the chain is our Artura 1073. Now what I tried to do is I level match them all together, and I tried to drive each one of these plugins relatively the same. When you get to things like the Neve or the FG73, the controls are a little different. You don't have a meter, just an LED. So I tried to be as accurate as I could. Again, they're not going to be dead on the same on every single one. And these are all modeled after different pieces of hardware, so you would suspect they would sound a little different. But let's see which one you guys like as far as these three go. So the first plugin is the 1073. The second plugin is the UAD 1073. And then the last plugin is the Slate Digital 1073. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn them all on and off just by clicking the power button here, and you can see when I do that, for example, here all the Arturas will light up. I'll turn those off, and then I'll turn on the UADs, and I'll turn those off, and then I'll turn on the Slate Digitals. And what I'll do, hopefully in post, I'll remember at the bottom of the screen to kind of put up, which one we're actually listening to. But just so you know, the Artura is the first plugin, the UAD is the second plugin, the Slate Digital is the third. And let's listen and see what the differences are. So we're going to start with them all off, and then I'm going to cycle through them one at a time so you can hear them. So here we go.
I know the season's about to change. It's changing all around. I know the reasons you've arranged. They're tearing me down. Where is the peacefulness of mine? Where will my heart come back to life? I'm alright as I pick up the pieces that are left of me. I'm alright, being away from you, and I'll be fine. Cleaning up the corner, put it back in order. I know I will always have this too, a little piece of you. My hands, back in the darkness, blind the day. Bring back the light. Where is the pleasure in the pain? Where is my shelter in the rain? Well, I'm alright as I pick up the pieces that are left of me. I'm alright, feel away from you, and I'll be fine. Cleaning up the corner, put it back in order.
Okay, so trying to leave it there for 10 seconds or so you can hear the difference. Now, what I hear here in my headphones and in the studio, again, over YouTube, I don't know, some of the subtleties might be lost. I hear there's definitely a slight difference between the three. I don't feel any one is really way better than another one. I just feel they're all a little different. What I hear is the Slate Digital FG73 seems to be more subtle. Much more subtle to my ears than the Universal Audio or the Artura 1073. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that it's more subtle. And on the FG73, I've actually drove the input much harder on this one because in more subtle settings, like on the other two, where they're a little bit more subtle, the settings, you really didn't hear any difference between turning it on and off at all. So what I find with the FG73 is you really have to push it in order to really hear any audible difference in my mind. Again, but I don't know how that comes across on YouTube. So the FG73 by Slate seems a little bit more subtle than the other two. So what I'll do now is I'll start with the Artura and I'll try to cycle through them a little more quickly so you can get a better A/B comparison. And I'll again try to remember to put it up on the screen which one you're listening to, but just keep your eye on the power button. I'll try to remember to zoom in on this so you know that the 1073, the first one again is the Artura. The second plugin in the insert slot is the Universal Audio, and the third is the Slate Digital. So if you see me turning the power buttons on and off, you'll see where it changes. So here we go. Start from the beginning of the track. We'll start with the Artura. Or actually, we'll start with it off so you can hear raw tracks, then I'll bring in the first plugin.
I know the season's right for change. It's changing all around. I know the reasons you've arranged. They're tearing me down. Where is the peacefulness of mine? Where will my heart come back to life? I'm alright as I pick up the pieces that are left of me. I'm alright, being away from you. I'll be fine, cleaning up the corner, put it back in order. I know I will always have this too, a little piece of you.
Okay, so there's a comparison for you. Which one do you like better? What do you hear? What listening environment are you listening to this on? Again, I think your experience is going to be different if you're listening to this on anything other than a good set of studio monitors or a good set of headphones. And I would suggest, because of the subtleties, that you try to watch this video at one point in your studio where you can really listen to it over a set of earbuds or an iPad or something. You're not going to hear the subtle differences, or it may be much more difficult to hear them. But I'd be interested to know, which one do you like the best out of the three? Do you like the Artura by, or the 10th is the Pre-73 by Artura, or do you like the Universal Audio 1073? Again, if you don't have a Universal Audio rig, this really doesn't matter to you because you don't have it anyway, but if you do, what do you like here? Or do you like the Slate Digital? Do you like this one? Or do you like them all for different reasons? I'd be interested to hear below. Now, what we're going to do in the next video coming up is I'm going to do this where I'm actually now going to compare this to my actual hardware 1073. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run each one of these tracks through that 1073. I'm going to re-record them back into Studio One here and put them on a bus so we can hear the cumulative effect of all of these tracks with the 1073 on it, and then we'll compare those to the plugins as well. But for you people that don't have hardware, I'd be interested to know what you think is the pre-1073, 1973 that I said in last week's video. Is that a UAD alternative? Is it competitive? What do you think? I think they got great plugins. And if you stay tuned to the channel, you're going to see me review a lot more of those plugins. And you're also going to, if you're part of mixingmadeeasy.net, you're going to have a chance to win some of these plugins as part of our mixing contest. So until the next video, I've been Dave with homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Let me know below which one of these three plugins you like. And then stay tuned to the next video when I'm going to compare them to the hardware. So make sure you like, you subscribe, and you hit that notification bell. Oh, and last but certainly not least, if this is your first time here, I want you to head over to homerecordingmadeeasy.com. I want to give you a free gift. I want to give you my 5 tips to a professional sounding mix, a great little practical cheat sheet for you to download so you can keep it by your mixing workstation. Go sign up for it today. It's absolutely free, no commitment, no charge, no nothing. Get your 5 free tips to a professional sounding mix at homerecordingmadeeasy.com, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.